Okay, let's look at another example. What would the least common denominator between these two fractions be? I'll make this a negative. The least common denominator is going to be 27. That's the smallest number that 27 and -9 will divide into evenly. So it helps to know your multiplication facts. And sometimes the denominators will be related to one another, like the examples we've looked at. So it's relatively easy to figure out the smallest number that both go into. So the method that we used our everyday knowledge of multiplication facts. But we can look at a more systematic way of using our multiplication facts, and it's what I call the list method. And what we do is we list the multiples of the largest denominator. So for example, let's look at these two fractions, 11/12 and 9/40. What's the least common denominator? What is the smallest number that both of these go into? So to write a list of multiples, we start with the largest number. That'll save us some time. And then we start writing out the multiples of that number. What's a multiple? Well, it's just this number multiplied by something else. So the number itself is always going to be the first one. 1 times 40 is 40. 2 times 40 is 80. 12 does not go into 80. 3 times 40 is 120. 12 does go into 120. So 120 would be our least common denominator. So we write a list of the multiples of our largest denominator, and then after we write each one, we evaluate, does our other denominator go into this number evenly? So 12 doesn't go into 40 evenly, it doesn't go into 80 evenly, but it does go into 120 evenly. So this is the smallest number that both 40 and 12 go into evenly.